Dear students, in the last class we already discussed the approaches of the program, that is top down approach and bottom up approach. So now we have to discuss the some programming techniques. Programming techniques. Programming techniques. Okay. The first one is unstructured programming. Unstructured programming. Okay. The second one is structured programming. Structured programming. So first one is unstructured programming. Second one is structured programming. Third one is procedural programming. Procedural programming. So fourth one is modular programming. Modular programming. So there are four types of programming techniques. So first one is unstructured programming or unstructured program. Second one is structured program. So third one is procedural program. Fourth one is modular program. Okay. So first one is unstructured program. So here unstructured, the name itself indicates the unstructured means if you want to write the program means it does not follow any structure. Okay, simply we have to write the program. So it does not have any set of standard. Okay, so that is nothing but the unstructured programming. So structured programming. So here structured means so we have to follow the rules and regulations. If you want to write the program means it consists of some techniques, some constructing rules, that is sequence. Another one is selection, looping. So structured means we have to follow the some programming construct techniques. Either we have to follow the sequence or sequential, either we have to follow the selection or either we have to follow the looping. So if we follow these three, so that belongs to the structured programming language. So unstructured means it does not have any set of standards. Okay, so whatever you can feel you can write like this, that does not have structure, that does not have any set of rules, that is unstructured. So second one is structure. Okay, third one is procedural program or procedure oriented program. Okay, so it in procedure programming means it consists of some procedures. For example, procedure program. So it consists of sub procedures, sub procedure 1, sub procedure 2, like this. So we have to follow the procedures. The example for procedural programming language is C. So it consists of main function, main program. It consists of a sub program, that is nothing but the procedure. Means the program which has to follow the some procedures. Okay, for example, if you consider the algorithm means it is a step-by-step procedure to solve the problem. In the same way, procedural program is related to the algorithm. If we learn the algorithm means easily we have to understand the procedural programming technique, that is C language. With the help of algorithm, you have to construct some programming, that is nothing but the procedure programming. So it consists of main procedure, it consists of sub procedure. With the help of procedure we have to construct the program. So that is nothing but the procedural programming. Last one is modular programming. So here module means I already told that. So module or function means the large program is divided into the small program, or the splitting of the process of splitting the program into the sub program, that is nothing but the modular programming. The main advantage of using the modular programming is reusability. For example, This is the main module. It consists of sub-module 1, sub-module 2, sub-module 3. Means the entire model is divided into the sub-module, sub-function. There are 3 functions. Okay. Suppose if I want S1 2 time means, so just I can link wherever I can use the S1 in that place to I can link to S1 only. Means one time you are writing, but this S1 can be used more than one time. That is reusability. Suppose if you combine all these means, you cannot use only this part. You can use the entire part. So modular programming means the process of splitting the large program into the small programs. That is nothing but the module. The main advantage of using the modular programming is reusability. Another one is easy to handle the errors. The errors will occur in S1. You can concentrate only on the S1, not S2 and S3. And easy to write, easy to understand. Okay, so these all are the advantages of using the modular programming technique. So it's complete the problem solving methodologies. Okay, so now we have to discuss some more algorithms and flowcharts. So in this chapter the main important concept is algorithms, flowcharts. Because if you understand the algorithms and if you understand the flowchart means easily you have to write the program in upcoming chapters. Okay, so now we have to solve the different algorithms and different flowcharts. Okay. So write an algorithm. So write an algorithm for area of triangle. So that is here the formula is S is equal to A plus B plus C divided by 2, and to find the area S into S minus A into S minus B S minus S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. So this is also a formula for area of triangle, or what you call in maths, that is I think it is equilateral triangle. So I don't know exact, but the formula is like this. Even this is also called as area of triangles having 3 sides. Okay, see here, first we can calculate the S value. So after that we can find out the area. So here we can decide, first we can decide the number of inputs. Here the number of input is 3, that is A, B, C. Okay, so once we will get the values of A, B, C, easily you can find out the S value. So after find outing the S value, next you can square root of S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. Okay. So in the algorithm, step 1. So step 1 is already said, that is start. Step 2, input. So A comma B comma C. Step 3. So in the step 3, so first we can calculate S is equal to A plus B plus C divided by 3. That is S is equal to A plus B plus C divided by 3. So after that, area A is equal to square root SQRT in the bracket of S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. So either you can use this symbol or simply we have to write SQRT. So in the programming language, so we cannot use this square root symbol. Why? Because this symbol is not present on the keyboard. So that's why instead of using this, we have to write like this SQRT. So here SQRT belongs to the square root. See here, square root in the bracket S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C, and finally you can close the bracket. And with this, finally it will compute and the result is stored in A. print of A. Finally stop. So this is the different example of algorithm. Then how to draw the flow chart? Okay. So which symbol we have to use for start? Oval symbol. Start. Next is parallelogram. That is input A comma B comma C. A comma B comma C. Next, see here. S is equal to A plus B. Here there are two times you can compute. First you can compute S, after that you can compute A. So it means that, so 2 times you can write the rectangle. First is S is equal to A plus B plus C divided by 2. Next is A is equal to SQRT in the bracket of S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. Okay. So finally parallelogram to print A. Finally stop. So this is the algorithm and this is the flow chart. So whatever it may be the problem, first thing we have to analyze is number of inputs. So problem ಯಾವ್ದ ಇದ್ರೂಪ ಅದ್ರ ಒಳಗ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಸೈಡೆಡ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್. ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏರಿಯಾ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಎಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಸಿ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 2 ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ರೂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಐತಿ, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ತೊಗೋಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿನ ನಾವು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 3 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಬರ್ದನ್ರಿ, ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಎ ಕಾಮ ಬಿ ಕಾಮ ಸಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ದಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಯಾವ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ದಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ 3. ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಬರೆದ್ರಿ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಗ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯಾರು ಬರೀಬೇಕ್ರಿ? ಸೊ ವಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ ರೈಟ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ, ನಾವು ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಎಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಸಿ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 2. ನಮಗೆ ಎಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ರೂಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ರೂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಸ್ ಇಂಟು ಎಸ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಎ, ಎಸ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಬಿ, ಎಸ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಸಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ 153. So 1 plus 5 plus 3, that is 5 plus 3 8, 8 plus 1 9. 9 by 2 is equal to 4.5 is the answer. Square root of s minus s andre ಎಷ್ಟು 3, even better we have to use 2. 5 plus 3 plus 2 10, 10 by 2 is 1. Okay, so here s value is 5. 5 into 5 minus 2 3, 5 minus 5 5 minus 5 is 0. So if one value is 0 means the entire value becomes 0, because here the multiplication is there. So the answer is 0. So we can take different 2 6 2 7 3 you can take, or 1 2 3 1 2 3 you can take. It is 6 by 2, answer is 3. Again you will get 0, because yes, minus 3, again you will get 0. Next you can take 4 1 2, 4 2, that is 8. 4 minus 4 1 2 3 means 1 plus 2 plus 3 divided by 2 is answer is 3. Yes, square root of 3 into 3 minus 1 is 2, 3 minus 2. Okay, so better you can write this example, and once you will execute the program, so you will get you can check the different values and different outputs. Okay, so one thing you have to remember is writing steps is important in algorithm and flowchart. So first step is input, second step is first step is start, last step is stop, second step is always input, third step is computation, and fourth step is print. Okay, so you can try this example. Okay, you can put different values and you can check whether which values should satisfy this condition. Okay, so the next example is so we have to solve some example based on looping. So we already studied the selection algorithms and flowchart and sequences algorithms and flowchart, but we are not discussing the while looping examples. Okay, so looping means if you have to print the number from 1 to n or factorial of a number, so you can consider factorial of number. For example, if I give the input value 5 factorial is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, it is 120. Here the input is only one, input n. Okay, so I can take initially fact is equal to 1. I will tell you why I have to take fact is equal to 1. 4. See here, for I is equal to 1 to n. Fact equal to fact star 1. Fact finally stop. See here, I can give the input value as 5, fact is equal to 1. So I already told that, so in the looping concept, more than one time the statements will be executed. See here, for I is equal to 1 starts with 1. Why we have to take I is equal to 1 means factorial means finally 1 into, it will start with 1, that's why 1. This process will repeat up to n times. Okay, initially I is equal to 1, this process will repeat up to 5 times. Initially fact value is 1, 1 into 1, 1, it is stored in fact, so fact value is 1. Next, here I can write repeat. So after this again it will repeat the process up to it will I reaches to n. So next I become 2. So in your mind, so initially I value is 1, so next how I value become 2. So ಇದು 1 ಇರುತ್ತೆ, 2 ಹೆಂಗಾತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, so by default once the statement is executed, so in the syntax I say that I is equal to I plus 1. So automatically I become 2 in the algorithm, because first of all algorithms cannot be executed in the system. So it is just like a procedure. Okay, next I become 2. 5, again it is 2 is less than 5, again condition is true. Here fact is 1 into I value is 2, 1 into 2, 2 is stored in fact. Next repeat I value 3, 3 is less than 3 to 5, again true. Here fact value 2, here 3, 2 into 3, 6. Next time fact value 6, I value 4, 6 into 4, 24. Next 24 into 5, 120. When I value 6 to 5, it is false, 6 is greater than, 6 is not less than 5. So finally false means it will come to the step 5 repeat fact, sorry print fact, finally we have to stop. Then how to draw the flowchart for this? So we have to use the hexagonal. So I already told that 6 sides is nothing but the hexagonal. See here. For I is equal to 1 to n. See here, if the condition is true, it will execute. After that, again, it will go reverse and it will check. If it is false, it will print fact. It will print fact. Finally, we have to stop. Okay. Don't make confuse here. Factorial means 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 or 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. Okay, I start with 1 up to n. So if I give the input value as 5 means up to 5, you can calculate the factorial. If I give 10 means up to 10, it will calculate. So for that purpose, I can take one variable, that is initially I can take 1. Fact into I. Why should I have to multiply with the I? Means every time the value changes. First time it is 1, next time it is 2, next time it is 3. So each value is multiplied with the new number and it is stored in same word, same character. So that's why I can take fact is equal to fact star I. Next you can print. So in the same way, so you have to take sum of natural number. The sum of natural number is, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So it is similar to the factorial, but only the difference is symbol. So in the factorial we have to take the multiplication, but in the sum of natural number we have to take the plus. But initially we can take it as a 0. In the factorial, so why we have to take the initial value as a 1 means, if you take initial value as 0 means 0 into any value is equal to the 0. But in sum means 0 plus any value, you will get that same value. So that's why. So if you want to calculate the sum of natural number, same procedure, same steps can be followed. Only we have to change the 0 and sign. Instead of writing star, we have to use the plus. Again, in flowchart also we can change same. Other than everything is same. Okay, so you can try it. So in the next class we will discuss some more algorithms and flowcharts. Okay, thank you.